There is a kind of knowing that does not come from books, that does not rise from study, that cannot be taught. It is the wisdom that is carved into the soul by suffering. It is the knowing that comes through the wound, through the crack, through the fall. The ancients knew this. They did not flee from pain. They listened to it. They did not see it as a curse, but as a teacher, as a guide, as a necessary part of becoming whole. Epictetus was born a slave and walked in chains, yet he taught freedom. Marcus Aurelius ruled the empire amid endless war and grief, yet he practiced peace. Socrates drank the hemlock, not with fear, but with calm, knowing that the soul could never be harmed. Their greatness was not, despite their pain, it was because of it. Their wisdom was not in avoiding hardship, but in facing it with courage and learning from its fire. You too have wounds invisible, maybe, but real places where life has broken. You open where dreams fell, where love left, where betrayal struck like lightning, and you wondered why. Why this? Why me? But Heraclitus reminds us that character is destiny, and character is not born in comfort. It is forged in flame. The very thing you thought would end you becomes the thing that forms you. The wound is not the end of the story. It is the doorway to the next chapter when you stop running from it, when you stop denying it, when you dare to look into it and say, "What are you here to teach me?" There is no growth without loss, no awakening without rupture. The seed must crack for the tree to rise. The night must fall for the stars to appear. The heart must break to reveal its deeper light. And so we do not curse the wound. We bow to it. We thank it not for the pain, but for the truth. It uncovered the strength. It revealed the depth. It demanded, your suffering has meaning, not because it was fair, but because you refused to let it make you bitter, because you turned it into wisdom, because you chose healing over hatred and purpose over despair. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." And when you rise again and again, despite the pain, despite the weight, you are becoming someone powerful, someone resilient, someone luminous. Do not hide your wound. It is not shame. It is strength. It is the proof that you felt deeply, that you loved boldly, that you lived fully, and it is now the well from which your compassion flows, because those who have suffered and healed become healers. Those who have fallen and risen become guides. Those who have cried in the dark become lights for others. And in this way, the pain is transformed. The scar becomes sacred. The story becomes song, and the soul becomes whole, not because it was untouched, but because it was made radiant by the fire. Plato wrote that the soul learns best through struggle, through the shock that awakens memory, and you are remembering now who you are beyond the pain, beyond the fear, beyond the illusion. You are not broken, you are becoming. You are not lost, you are learning. You are not defeated, you are discovering. So carry your wound not as a weight, but as a torch, and walk forward into the world with deeper eyes, with a fuller heart, with the silent power of one who has endured. This is the wisdom of the wound. It is not weakness, it is wonder. It is not darkness, it is depth, and from it you will rise, not the same, but more than you were, more truthful, more compassionate, more alive, because in every crack there is light, and in every wound there is a way. In a world that rushes, in a world that screams, in a world that pulls your attention 1,000 ways, there is something rare, something divine, something eternal in stillness. The ancients knew it, the mystics practiced it, the philosophers honored it, not as emptiness, but as fullness, not as absence, but as presence. Plato spoke of the soul's turning away from the shadows toward the light of truth, but that turning begins in silence, in the quiet space where thinking ceases and seeing begins. You cannot hear the wisdom within. If your mind is filled with noise, you cannot feel the guidance of the soul. If you are always running, always grasping, always reacting, stillness is not laziness. It is not passivity. It is power. It is clarity. It is the place where you come home to yourself. Socrates said, "Know thyself." But how can you know if you never pause, if you never listen, if you never stop long enough to see what is beneath the surface? The water only reflects truth when it is still, and your mind only mirrors the soul when it is calm. Aristotle believed contemplation was the highest activity of man, not because it was idle, but because it aligned us with what is eternal, what is noble, what is divine to be. Still is to remember that you are not your tasks, not your fears, not your desires. You are the one who watches, the one who is aware, the one who simply is in stillness. There is healing. The nervous system unwinds, the heart softens, the spirit breathes again, and in that space, truth rises, not as a thought, but as a knowing. Epictetus said, "It is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them." And when you sit in stillness, those judgments lose their grip. You begin to see that much of your suffering was built in the mind, not in the moment. In stillness, you do not escape reality. You see it more clearly, without the distortions, without the drama, without the illusions. Heraclitus taught that all flows, all changes, yet there is a logos, a deeper order behind the motion, and it is in stillness that you can touch that order, glimpse that rhythm, feel that sacred pulse. Stillness is not just meditation. It is a way of being. It is walking without rushing. It is speaking without reacting. It is working without striving. It is loving without clinging. It is the space between the notes where music lives. It is the pause between the breaths where life renews. It is the center of the storm where peace resides. And in that center, you find strength. Not the strength of control, but the strength of surrender. Not the strength of force, but the strength of presence. For when you are still, truly still, you no longer chase life. You become aligned with it. You no longer search for meaning. You embody it. You no longer seek power. You remember, you are already whole. This is not a retreat from life. It is a return to it, a deeper participation, a fuller awareness, a purer presence. So give yourself permission to pause, to stop chasing, to stop fixing, to stop fearing. Be still and know not as a belief, but as an experience that you are guided, that you are loved, that you are part of something infinite. From that stillness, you will act with purpose. You will speak with truth. You will love with grace. You will move with wisdom. And the world, though loud, though chaotic, though ever-changing, will no longer shake you, because you have found the unmoved center. Within stillness is your sanctuary. Stillness is your sword. Stillness is your salvation. So be still and become. If you felt inspired by our journey through the Hellenic horizons, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.